All right. What's going on? Welcome to the 33rd live stream, I think. Hold on, let me double check. Yeah, 33. Welcome to the 33rd Ask Me Anything live stream, where every 2 weeks or so, I like to stream and give you guys a chance to ask questions or just talk about whatever that's going on in the world. So if you missed a live stream, the next one is probably going to be 1 week early. So I'm planning for October 1st because the week after that I'm going to be busy, and I'm not going to be able to stream on the 8th. So I'm going to try to have another stream next week. So for anyone that missed the live broadcast of this one, that's going to be the next stream, and hopefully I'll see you guys there. So today, I sort of wanted to mix it up a bit and just have a chill stream and sort of take a step back a little from the self-improvement content, because I've really been hammering away the self-improvement niche this past, maybe not past month or so, but for pretty much all of my live streams, it's been super serious content where we've talked about self-improvement habits and ideas that can benefit your life, and ones that I've used and incorporated in my life that I found successful. And so I wanted to share those stories and ideas with you guys over a live stream. But I've never really taken a break to have a stream that's more fun. So that's sort of what today is going to be about. And the reason why is because, well, obviously you can tell from the title with the House of Dragons, but I've been someone that's had an active pursuit of getting rid of my television addiction, where it was, getting rid of Netflix and just stopping the whole binge watching routine that I was in, and trying to be more productive with my life. Hey, Jerwin, what's up, bro? Hello, brother. You're a great man. Hey, appreciate it, dude. What's going on? How you doing? So yeah. Now, it's been, I don't know how long, but it's been a good couple years since I've really got into any TV shows or Netflix. I think it was like after Game of Thrones ended, I watched Squid Games, and that was pretty much it. And I think the Michael Jordan documentary. But other than that, I've been pretty disciplined with removing television from my life. And it was one decision that I found very beneficial and very helpful. But now, this year, House of the Dragon came out, which is a prequel to Game of Thrones. And I was like, man, I watched all the seasons of Game of Thrones. I read the books. I love the show. Huge fan. And so obviously, like most people, Game of Thrones ended in kind of like an anticlimactic way, with the 7th and 8th season being relatively disappointing. And so I was super hyped up for House of the Dragon. And also, it was one that I didn't read the book. I didn't read Fire and Blood. So I was like, you know what? I think it's time. It's time to get back into watching something. So if there's ever a show that I'm willing to break my no TV streak for, it's definitely one that is in the world of Westeros. Oh, the chat's not working? Hold on. Hold on one sec. I gotta fix the chat. How do I fix the chat here? YouTube chat. There we go. I'm in my bed right now, bro. It's 12 midnight here in the Philippines. Hey, Philippines, what's up? So the Philippines is 12 hours time difference then. If it's midnight there, it's 12 in the afternoon here in Toronto. There's lots of Filipino people in Toronto. Actually, almost all of my childhood friends are mostly Filipino. So I'm very familiar with Filipino culture. But thanks for staying up and joining the stream, bro. What's going on? How you doing? If you have any questions for me, let me know. Oh yeah, also, for any of you guys that don't know, I do have a podcast that I've been sort of posting once a month. It's just called the Bearsie Podcast. You can find the audio versions and the video version on YouTube. And this past month, I just struck out on every single guest that I wanted to have on the pod. And so what I'm going to do is, for the next episode, I'm just going to have myself on. And I was going to read some of the questions that I've got from this live stream where you guys have asked me, and sort of put them all into just a podcast episode. So I've been going through the past live streams and looking for the best questions that you guys have been asking me, and I've written them down. And so I'm going to release a podcast episode with just myself and go over those questions, because I get so frustrated from not being able to create more podcasts because of a lack of guests. And it's very annoying because this is something that's outside of my control, right? I love to be in control of the work I do when I just rely on myself. It's very easy. I can be hard on myself. I can force myself to be disciplined. I can force myself to write, to edit, to create content, to do all these things. But when I have to rely on other people to get a podcast out or to record a podcast, it's incredibly frustrating for me, right? Because I have that drive and determination to release content. And, going 2, 3, 4 weeks without having a guest, it's tough, right? And so I figured, you know what? Instead of making excuses, let's just have an episode of just myself, and I'm just going to answer some of my favorite questions that you guys have given me. Someday I want to be there in your place, bro. In my place? In which way? In the YouTube space or in Canada? You never know, dude. Whatever your goal is, you can definitely get there. As long as you have like a clear vision of what you want to do. Are you new to the channel, Jerwin? I don't think I've seen you before in the live stream or in the comments. I'm always interested how you found my content, because I still consider myself to be like a channel that's super small. It always intrigues me when people tell me how they find my work. And usually the large majority comes from either kiwi fruits or wearing a life uniform, which is kind of funny. Anywhere in the United States, brother. Hey, so you're planning on moving to North America? I wonder what the visa situation is like, because some of my friends here in Canada that have moved from the Philippines, they've told me it took like 6 to 7 years, I think, to go through the whole application process for immigration. Yeah, bro, I'm the one who always wrote comments in your videos. Oh, really? Was it under a different name? For some reason, your account name isn't ringing a bell for me. Or maybe there's just too many comments that I go through. I've been getting some wild comments lately from when I posted that video about psychedelics. I've never seen so many bots on YouTube in my entire life. There's just all these bots talking about Instagram accounts you can buy drugs from, and they're just like spamming like my comment section like crazy. And it was so annoying because I was just trying to ban them all and delete their accounts from posting more comments, but they just keep coming and coming and coming. Like, this was the first time where the bots were like rampant in one of my videos, and I found it super annoying. Especially videos about gambling addiction. Yeah, that's one that it was interesting because I have massive amounts of life experience, positive interactions, negative interactions, and crazy stories from when it came to gambling addiction. And it's part of why I've kind of on the self-improvement journey. Like I used to be someone that was addicted to gambling. I used to be a chronic procrastinator, someone who was extremely lazy. I wasn't disciplined. I didn't work out. Like I was like all these things that I didn't want to be. And so when I started a self-improvement journey, I was kind of, sharing the ideas that has helped me. But it wasn't until recently that I decided to talk more about the struggles of gambling addiction. And I don't know if it was because I was scared to share my experience or I was afraid of my friends and family judging me. Because whenever you talk about something like losing money or going to the casino and gambling, a crazy amount of money away, there's always this negative feedback from people where they shame you, right? Because everyone knows gambling is bad. You're just wasting your money. You're just wasting your time. It's such a stupid decision to go to the casino and throw your money away. And there's this judgment that you receive from friends and family. And I think that made me a little apprehensive about sharing my story. So I didn't really make too many videos about my past when it came to gambling and poker. But recently I've been like, you know what? I'm so busy now after moving and having our second child that I'm like, I'm just going to talk about stuff that I love and stuff that's meaningful to me because I don't have time anymore to research topics for videos. So I've just been sort of making more videos about my own personal experience with struggling with gambling addiction. And I've received a lot of good feedback from you guys. I've received a lot of stories and comments from people who were struggling in a very similar situation. And I was like, man, maybe this is something that I should talk about more because I was someone who was like deeply ingrained in that world. And I managed to come out on the other side without completely ruining my life. And so many other people aren't so fortunate, right? So many people get sucked in deep that it destroys them financially. It destroys their relationships or their marriage or their parents or their friends or even like their job or their career. Like gambling is a destructive addiction and it's one that it's very difficult to get away from. So I've been sort of thinking this over more and more and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to share more videos about my past struggles with gambling addiction. And I actually have a video that I just finished last night and I'm probably going to post it next week. I experienced it on my own, and you also share your own experience on those videos. Also, I have many crazy struggles in my life. Don't worry, I hear you, bro. I hear you. My experience, bro, I never blame it, but I'm very thankful to those experiences and struggles because I can give advice to those people who experience it. Yeah, see, that's it, right? Like if you go through something that's very challenging and like a dark part of your life and you make it through that, you can make it through that adversity and those struggles, you can help someone out in the world that might be going down that path too, because life is just all based on experience, right? Life is one giant learning experience. And if you can learn from the mistakes of others and hopefully not ruin your life, right? Especially when it comes to things like gambling or alcohol addiction. That's another big one too. Like these terrible like addictions that human beings get stuck with, they're so hard to dig out of those holes. Like even drug addiction too is another one, like opioids. That's another addiction. That's rough to get rid of. And it's one that I'm going to release more content on in the future. Hey, Forrest. How you doing? I need to move my keyboard. I can't keep moving over to the right just to type. How you doing, Forrest? We got to talk some House of Dragons today. I was planning for this to be a more relaxed stream, but me and my boy Jerwin right here, we're just getting into deep in the weeds with gambling addiction. But yeah, like I was saying, I just finished a video last night yeah, last night I finished editing a video, and it was about like a story, like a gambling addiction story from I think maybe 10 years ago, 2011. Yeah, 11 years ago. And um hopefully it will be beneficial. There's not too much information in the video that could like help you out. It's sort of more like of an entertaining video. It's just like a story. But I definitely will be releasing more videos going down into the gambling world more frequently. Oh ho ho, do we? Yeah, I don't know. Today I was in a less serious of a mood, I guess you would say. I've been really pushing myself hard these past couple months, especially with my son Lincoln, and trying to be supportive with Tina, helping out, and just also dealing with inflation and cost of living. Like there's so much going on that I think I needed a day to kind of take it easy and just relax. Are you guys shipping the incest like true fans should? Oh my god. Oh man. You know what I really like about House of the Dragon? It's that I didn't read the book. Like I started the book. I can't remember how far I got into it, but I don't know any of the backstory. Unlike Game of Thrones, where I read the books, so I sort of had an idea what was going on. But this show, I have no clue. Like I'm like, who is Jaehaerys? I'm like, who is Rhaenyra? I can't say her name. Rhaenyra. Daemon. Like I'm like, who are these people? Like who are these Targaryens? I have no idea who they are. So I had to like Google the family tree and see that it's like 8 or 9 generations before Daenerys. So we're talking like I think it's 200 years. So I was like, oh man, this is going to be all brand new to me. So I've really been enjoying these episodes. Also, the incest thing. Are you talking about Daemon and Rhaenyra? Am I saying her name right? Why can't I say her name properly? I did, and I should read it again. Oh, yeah, you did read it. I remember you told me before. Yeah, I have it. I have it on my Kindle. And I think I maybe read like 10% of the book, like just maybe the first chapter or something. Like I don't even remember what I read. But now I think I'm gonna wait and maybe read it after this first season ends, because I'm assuming that House of the Dragon has more than one season. Is that right? Let's find out. House of the Dragon seasons. Is there a season 2? Okay, House of the Dragon. Let's go season 2. Will there be 2 seasons of House of the Dragon? We couldn't be more excited to continue bringing to life the epic saga of House of the Targaryen with season 2. Sources say there's going to be 3 to 4 seasons plotted so far. Okay, so I don't know if that's just a rumor or if that's true, but it says blah 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 sources. Like when these websites say sources, like what sources? Are these just gossip? Or are these like credible sources? 3 to 4 seasons have been plotted. Wow. There will be 4, they said. Okay, all right. So we got 4 seasons then. So is the book? Because I know the book is like 350 pages, 400 pages or so. Like, would all 4 seasons come from the one book? Because it's interesting, because the timeline keeps jumping. Like tomorrow's episode, it's going to be 10 years in the future, and that's why they're changing actors, right? Like, what's her name? Millie Alcock is becoming Darcy something. House of the Dragon. What's her name? Darcy. I don't know her name. Oh, Emma Darcy? Is that right? Emma Darcy? So she's going to be Rhaenyra? So she's 30. Okay, so she's definitely an older actor than Millie. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the rest of the show. It's also nice to it's sort of nice to just kind of get back into like the Game of Thrones world, because like we were so let down in season 7 and 8, or at least I was, or the majority of people were, right? Like how it ended, it just left a sour taste in everyone's mouth. No, half of the book is skipped. Oh really? Half of the book is skipped. Wow, that's interesting. It's called Fire and Blood, right? Let's see, Fire and Blood. Oh, it's 700 pages. Oh, why was I thinking 400? Oh my gosh, that's so much longer than I thought. For some reason, I thought it was only like 400 pages. So it came out in 2018. Oh man, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Because like the Game of Thrones world is so interesting to me, and it's so enjoyable to watch that like I can't miss this show. Like I know people love Stranger Things, for example. Like I watched the first Stranger Things and maybe the second, and Stranger Things is like a show that a lot of my friends watch religiously, and it's like a beloved show. But I was like, I don't know, it just didn't move the needle for me. And so a lot of TV shows and movies I sort of cut out of my life in order to just kind of get rid of that habit of just binging all the time. And so do I miss it? Yeah, I do, miss, getting a drink and some chips and sitting down on the couch, after work and just hanging out and watching, a couple hours of TV. I do miss that, right? But at the same time, it's like I've been pushing this concept of productivity. I've been pushing this idea of working towards my dream, right? And I just couldn't afford giving up those 1 to 2 hours every day anymore, right? Because 1 to 2 hours of Netflix every night across an entire week is 13, 14 hours, right? And if I'm really serious about pursuing this passion in filmmaking and content creation, I need every hour that I can get. So I really made a strong decision to cut out as much TV as I could, but also leaving room to make exceptions every once in a while for something that I really loved. So for example, the Michael Jordan documentary was something that I loved. I was a huge fan of Michael Jordan growing up. I loved basketball. I loved documentaries. I love filmmaking. So when that came out, I was like, okay, I gotta watch this. And it made me really happy. It was really enjoyable. I really, really enjoyed it. But then after that, I went back into the mindset of, like controlling my television addiction, and taking it easy and not having to, binge watch everything that everyone else is watching. And it's tough because socially you get left out of conversations, especially like with your friends and at work. Because everyone's like, oh, did you watch this show on the weekend? Or this came out, or The Witcher, or whatever. And I'm like, oh man, like no, I didn't watch it. So it's tough, right? Especially for from a social standpoint. But anything Game of Thrones, it's so enjoyable that I can't. I have to watch it. Yes, because it starts with different people. Then a big chunk is with Jaehaerys and football team of kids. then 2 other generations, and we see Daemon, the Rogue Prince, and so on. Oh, okay. Hello, Yo, Swen, what's up, Swen? So today we're just having like a chill stream. I've just been talking about TV addiction, Netflix addiction, and like always binge watching shows, and how I sort of removed it from my life these past 3 or 4 years. But then House of the Dragon came out, which was like the Game of Thrones prequel series or spin-off. Not a spin-off. Is it a spin-off? I think it's like a prequel standalone show. But I was like, you know what? This is like, I love Game of Thrones so much. So I was like, all right, so I kind of started watching it, and it's been super enjoyable because I haven't watched any TV like for years, right? So I figured we could talk about it if any of you guys are Game of Thrones fans, which I know Forrest is. Hi Sven, today we are fanboy girling over things we love. Yeah. I couldn't wait to see the Rings of Power, and now that it's finally here, I hate it. The Rings of Power? What is that? Is that Lord of the Rings? Oh, what? The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. What is this? This is a new show? Like, see, this is what I mean. Right? This is what is so hard about television. There's so many like good shows that it's so easy to get sucked into, right? So I'm like, oh man, I want to watch this now too, right? Because I love Lord of the Rings. I think I read The Hobbit when I was a kid. Loved the movies. But what is this? The Rings of Power. Oh, it just came out. September 1st, 2022. Oh, it's an Amazon Prime thing. Prime Video. Oh my gosh. Gym rings are hella challenging. Yo, gym rings are rough, dude. I made a home gym so I can now listen to videos, productivity maxing at its finest. Yo, you made a home gym? Nice, bro. I'm actually working on a home gym as well. There's no space in my house, but in my garage, I have my adjustable dumbbells, which go from, I think, 10 pounds to 90. And then I have an adjustable incline bench. So all I got to do is find a way to put a pull-up bar. I'm thinking in my garage, I was going to maybe get a couple pipes. Like, I just want to get like a regular pipe, like a solid metal pipe that I can just secure to the wall, or maybe drill into one of the studs in the garage, and then just do pull-ups. I can do bench, and then like leg work, like squats. You can do that anywhere, right? I can do lunges. I can do dumbbell lunges. I can do body weight squats, goblet squats, Hindu squats. Like there's a lot of leg work you can do. You don't really need too much equipment, right? But anything like pulling, like pull-ups, rows, deadlifts, that type of stuff, you always like, it's tough to do exercises for your back without proper equipment. So I think if I just do dumbbell rows, bent over rows, and just like body weight pull-ups, I even have the belt where you can add weight to like weighted pull-ups, and I think I'll be good. So I've been working on my home gym for a couple weeks, just trying to get it cleaned out. And hopefully I'll have it done by next summer, I'm thinking, but we'll see. Oh, you don't watch The Witcher? Tisk tisk. I actually watched... Is there more than one season? I watched the first season with Henry Cavill, right? Geralt of Rivia. Yeah, so don't worry, Forrest. I did watch it. I started reading the books, but I think I got the order messed up because it was confusing to figure out like which book comes first, like chronologically. And so I had them all downloaded, and then I think I was reading the second one, so I started reading them out of order, and I got all kind of messed up. And then for whatever reason, I kind of went back to nonfiction, so I haven't been reading too much fiction lately. Only the most expensive show of all time. Costumes and locations and such are perfect, but the rest sucks. Oh, really? Wow. That's for Lord of the Rings, right? The costumes and locations are perfect, but the rest sucks. Oh my gosh. So I'm assuming the story is shitty? Like, what is it? Is it a prequel? Is it a sequel? Like what is this new Lord of the Rings show? Let me see if it says here. Is there like a premise or a plot? Okay, so the Rings of Power is set thousands of years before the events of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Okay, so thousands of years before. So I guess it's like the origin story of the ring? Is that what it is? The series is based on the author's history of Middle-earth. It begins during a time of relative peace and covers all of the major events of Middle-earth's Second Age, the forging of the Rings of Power, and the rise of the Dark Lord Sauron, the fall of the island kingdom of Numenor, and the last alliance between elves and men. These events take place over thousands of years in Tolkien's original stories, but are condensed for the series. Oh, okay, I see. So it's like the history. Man, I want to watch that, but if you say it sucks, oh, that's disappointing. I read only 5 out of 8. That's still a lot. That's a lot of The Witcher. There's 8 books. See, that's a lot to catch up on. I've been reading them at work while in my truck. Every once in a while, I would just kind of go through it. I only have gym rings and a bag with 10 kilos of sand. Like bag of sand? But it serves its purpose. Yeah, sand is good. Sand and water like are surprisingly super heavy. Like I have a bag of sand in my backyard for my daughter's sandbox or whatever with all her toys and stuff. And even just like putting a bag of sand in like a backpack, like if you have like a sturdy backpack, put that in the backpack and then try to do pull-ups. It's tough. Like it is so tough, especially even if it's just 10 kilos. Because 10 kilos is what? Like 22 pounds, right? Like that's a lot of weight to add 22 pounds to your body. Like I haven't done, that's something I want to get back into. This is why I want to add a pull-up bar into my garage is I want to get back into doing weighted pull-ups. I think I was working up to 5 reps of one plate. I think I was up to 4 reps and then 5 I hit failure. I couldn't get 5, but that's adding 45 pounds to my body weight and doing 4 reps. I think that was my max. That was my PR, I guess you would say, for weighted pull-ups, and that was before COVID. That was like 2019. So it's been 3 years since I've done weighted pull-ups because all the gyms closed. I canceled my membership, and then like that was it. Like I don't have like a proper pull-up bar. I'm at home to do weighted pull-ups, and so that kind of sucks. But this is why like I really want to get the pull-up bar installed in the garage, and then it'll be super easy to work out. Gym rings are good though. They're extremely difficult. Like from even just trying rings, I have so much respect now for people that do gymnastics. Like the amount of core strength, upper body strength, and just like arm strength to just perform things like gymnastics rings is so difficult. Like it's unbelievable. It's almost like a different kind of strength. And it's one that I sort of like scoffed at it. I was like, oh, gymnastics? Like, oh, that's for girls. And I know that that's like a super ignorant thing to say, right? Like I was young, I was stupid. Like I didn't know any better, right? I just thought like gymnastics was like something that only women do. But then when I saw that George St. Pierre did gymnastics, the UFC fighter, I was like, what? Like this dude, like one of like the baddest dudes in the UFC, he trains gymnastics. I'm like, really? And then I saw, I don't know what that pose is called. Like you get the rings and you sort of do a muscle up and then you push yourself up and then you have your legs perpendicular and you just hold the position. So your body is kind of like an L and then you're just holding the position with the rings parallel to your hips. And I was like, that doesn't look that hard. And then when I tried to do it, the sheer amount of strength and stability that's required to do a movement like that is insane. And I was like, oh my gosh, ring work is so difficult. It's so hard. And this is why like gymnasts are so jacked. Like the amount of strength they have to do those movements it's spectacular. It's amazing. So now I have like huge appreciation for gymnastics. Something that's like, I think is amazing. Now, obviously I'm probably too old to kind of try gymnastics now and maybe go to a gym or something, but I definitely love to try it. Like I would definitely love to, I don't know, maybe my daughter takes gymnastics one day and I take her to a class and maybe I can go and try something. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, let's get back to a little bit House of the Dragon. Oh no, wait, Lord of the Rings. This is what we were talking about. So this show really does suck. Like, how long are the episodes? Are they like an hour long? Let's see. So there's one season, 5 episodes. Okay, runtime is 65 to 72 minutes. Well, that's some pretty long episodes. Where's what do you call it? Where's the reviews? Oh my gosh, the Wikipedia is so long. Like, what is the general consensus? Rotten Tomatoes website gave it 84%. Okay, so seems favorable. Metacritic 71 out of 100. Generally favorable reviews. Audience response. This is what I'm the most interested in. Backlash. Oh my god. Like there's so much. What's all this controversy here? There's all this backlash. Okay, I'm not reading that. It's like 4 paragraphs of backlash. Okay, so apparently there's lots of controversy with this show. You know what show I liked this week? Miss Brown's Boys? What is that? Miss Brown's Boys. A 2011 sitcom? Forrest, what are you watching? What is this? This is an old show? 2011? Or is there a remake? Mrs. Brown's Boys is an Irish television sitcom. Oh. Wait, is this animated? This picture looks like it's animated. 3 seasons. What is this? Wait, the actors are real or are these voice actors? Am I on the right thing? Oh my god, who is this lady? She looks like Mrs. Doubtfire. Or is that a dude? Wait, that's a dude. What? It is a guy. What is going on? What is this? What are you making me Google here? Okay, that's definitely a guy. Okay, so I'm looking at Mrs. Brown's Boys images on Google, and it's just like chaos. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Brendan O'Carroll. Yes, I needed something where I can just turn off my brain and just relax and enjoy some guy playing an old lady. Okay, so it is like Mrs. Doubtfire. An old guy playing a nanny or a grandma or something. Oh my god, it's so funny. uh, yeah, I love comedy. Like, I haven't seen a really good comedy movie in a long time. It's hard to make comedy shows or movies nowadays, especially with like cancel culture and people being sensitive to jokes and that whole world. It's very difficult um, to make like a good comedy movie or sitcom or a TV show. It's tough. It's tough. Like this one made in 2011, right? So 11 years ago. Like I don't know of any comedy movies or shows that have come out recently. And I heard Matt Damon, was it Matt Damon? I think it was Matt Damon say something really interesting where he was like, nowadays in the movie, in Hollywood, they only make movies that are like big blockbusters that they know that they would sell, that would sell well in the theaters. Like they don't make these fringe under the scene type dramas or films because those type of movies, those like creative pieces that aren't well known, that aren't mainstream, a lot of their revenue would come from DVD sales. And so they could afford to make a movie and recuperate the costs later on from DVD sales. But now DVDs are gone. So they only have the box office. And what performs well at the box office is stuff like Marvel, or Lord of the Rings or Pixar, like the really big, well-known movies. And when you have things like, I don't know, what's like a really great film from back in the day, like The Usual Suspects, right? Something like that, where like a really well produced, well made drama or thriller that has like twists and turns, and it's like it's not a well known story, like something like that acquires a cult following after the box office, right? Those aren't successful anymore, and these production companies are losing money making films like that. And also, this is where kind of comedy films sort of falls into place too, where it's like these producers and production companies are scared of like cancel culture, right? And they're scared of creating a comedy where they offend a certain group of people, or they offend someone, or there's outrage, right? And so it's the type of movies and shows that you see now. They're not as creative or different as they were back in the day, which I found very interesting, right? Because I'm out of the movie scene. I haven't really watched much lately. I never enjoyed hearing the word knickers as knickers. Is that like socks or something? As much as this past week, knickers. When I hear the word knickers, I think of like the New York Knicks or socks. Because knickers is like a British thing, right? Okay, I'm going to Google this. Knickers. Okay, New York Knicks. Okay, not that. Knickers meaning? Knickers are loose-fitting trousers gathered at the knee or calf. Oh. Knickers are trousers? Oh, that's North America. British. Short underpants worn by women or girls. Oh. Okay, so underwear. Wait, so in British, knickers are underwear, and in North America, knickers are trousers, like pants. Huh. Knickers. Like that's a word that's not really in the Canadian vocabulary. I don't think anyone here uses the word knickers. Yeah, definitely a British thing. Cancel culture really sucks. Yeah. Underwear. Yo, my Google history is be all messed up. I'm searching for Mrs. Brown's Boys and Knickers and Lord of the Rings. All this randomness. Yeah, cancel culture is something that I have a strong opinion on. because it's something that unfortunately is an idea or an ideology that I have to be scared of or wary of, and it really sucks. Like, what happens if I say something, during this stream that offends someone, and then I get canceled? I don't know. And all my stuff gets shadow banned or taken off of YouTube. Like, all that stuff really makes me sad. Because I love, like, freedom of expression. I love creative things. I love ideas. I love discussion. I love conversation. Like, and even if, it's in poor taste, or maybe an idea that I bring up is incorrect or wrong, like I feel like it's good to not be afraid, to speak your truth and talk about things. And then, maybe someone else can refute what you say, and then you have a discussion and you learn something, and I have like a new point of view. I don't know. I just feel like canceling people for things you don't agree with is never a good decision. Like, I don't know. It sucks. What is that? Galadriel's? Knickers made of light? What is that? I have no idea what that is. Am I supposed to Google that? Telling you my Google history. What is this? Galadriel's? No, don't. Oh. I already did. I already Googled it. What am I looking at? What is going on? Is this pictures of, like, Lord of the Rings in underwear? I'm so confused. Did the women of Middle-earth wear underwear? What? Did the women of Middle-earth wear underwear? What? In the Fellowship of the Rings, Galadriel gives each member of the Fellowship a gift. What? Okay, I don't even know. Oh, that's a character? Oh, no wonder. See, I'm not... oh, the lady with the... Okay, I know who that is. Is she an elf? The Lady of Light. Celeborn? Wait, was she the wife of that guy from The Matrix? Mr. Smith? Is this show really that bad, Forrest? Or is it like you're someone that's a big fan of the series, so that you had high expectations for it and then it fell flat? Is it like one of those things? Would it be a good show for someone like me, who's like a noob? Like, I don't know anything about the Lord of the Rings world. Like, I'm just like, oh yeah, what was that movie with the dragon? See, I can't even remember what it's called. The Hobbit and the dragon that had all the gold. Like, when that came out, I was like, yeah, cool, I'll watch it. And I watched it and I enjoyed it. Like, I don't know anything in the Lord of the Rings movies. Yes, she is the elf. And the younger version of the new show is just so not Galadriel. Galadriel? Am I saying that right? I love the first episode, thinking her acting would change, but nope. Oh, yikes. So bad acting too. Yeah, that's no good. Dang, the episodes are pretty long. I don't know, you might... Yeah, see, like, maybe I'd like it. Because I probably don't appreciate it, right? I'd probably just be like someone who's ignorant to the whole story. Just like, exciting, Lord of the Rings and entertainment. Like I'd probably be like that, and maybe I would enjoy it. It's just like, it's so hard to find all the time to watch all these shows. Like there's so much good stuff out there. You know what's super annoying though? It's annoying how things are on like Netflix, and there's HBO, and then you have Hulu, and then you have Amazon, and then you have Crave. Like it's, oh my gosh, like it's this whole subscription streaming service stuff. It's like gone out of hand. It's so annoying. Like even like YouTube has like a YouTube premium like monthly service. Spotify you gotta pay monthly, like Netflix monthly, even like Disney Plus too monthly. Everything is like moved to this monthly payment service, and it's so annoying because like you buy a couple of those things and all of a sudden you're paying $50 a month, for all your subscriptions. And even like for me, I have to pay for like website hosting, like newsletter, like even like Adobe. Like Adobe's expensive too. Like editing software, like everything now is just monthly subscription based. Like I miss the days where you buy something one time for one price and then you have it forever. Like obviously as like a business model, that's like that way of doing business is extinct. Like it doesn't exist anymore. We've kind of transitioned into this subscription model for everything. And I even noticed this on Tiffany's like iPad. Like apps for little kids, they have like monthly subscription. Oh, $7 a month for this. I'm like, what? Like for an iPad game for counting and colors and the alphabet, like for little kids, like $7 a month subscription for that too. Like, oh my gosh. Like if you're not careful with the type of purchases you make, man, your monthly subscriptions are like could be an insane amount of money. So it's one thing that I really dislike. Like I watch not Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon on Crave because I got a new internet provider that has really fast upload speed, so I can do these streams at better quality and more reliability. And when I got the internet upgraded, it kind of came with Crave for free for like a year. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I can get Crave for free. I can watch House of the Dragon. But like after that, that probably has a monthly subscription too. So I don't know. All this stuff, it drives me nuts. Because everything is so expensive too. Unless you're someone that just, I don't know, illegally downloads everything. Or just like I'm sure there's places like on Reddit where, I don't know, you can find like people streaming stuff, like sure. But like what if you're not tech savvy, or what if you don't have a friend or family member that can share a Netflix account with you? Like, well, how do you watch stuff? Like everything is so expensive. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. Lord of the Rings might have to be a pass for me. Because it said Amazon Prime, right? Or like what's the Amazon streaming service? Oh, Prime Video. Yeah, like I don't have Amazon Prime. I'm one of those free shipping guys. Spend $35 on Amazon, get the free shipping. That's what I usually do. Like, am I gonna pay for Amazon Prime or Prime Video just to watch The Rings of Power? Like, I'm sure they probably have other good shows, right? But at the end of the day, there's just too much. I can't keep up. But how many seasons does this have? So Rings of Power, 1 season. Wow, the cast is huge. Oh my gosh. So there's going to be 8 episodes? Huh. Yeah, I can't keep up with that. I haven't watched a single movie in years, just YouTube. Yeah, that's what I've been like the past couple of years. It sucks because I really enjoy film, right? Because I love filmmaking, I love cinematography. I love all that type of stuff. I love videography, storytelling. And I used to love watching films and movies just for like the camera angles and the transitions, and I would like learn a lot of things, especially with like really well made movies. Like in the film industry and film school, like I've never been to film school, but there's this idea um, where you clap to the cuts in videography, or whenever you watch film, and you appreciate it. It helps you appreciate the editing. Like whenever you watch a movie and you kind of want to dissect it in terms of like the filmmaking and editing style that they use, you clap every time that there's like a hard cut in the film. And sometimes you can see like there's a rhythm to the clapping. And other times you're just like clapping like crazy and you realize how many cuts there are. Like that type of like nerdy stuff I geek out on. Like I miss that about watching films and be like, oh, look at that angle. Or they use this type of lens, or oh, that was a tracking shot, or that was a wide angle shot. Like that type of stuff I miss from watching movies. I watched What is a Woman and 3,000 Years of Longing. Oh man, What is a Woman? That's the first one was a scary document. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Forrest. That's oh man. I don't know what to say about that. Okay, the one you're talking about, What is a Woman, is that a guy? He's just interviewing people, right? And he's asking them questions like about like what is a woman and all this type of stuff. I think it was kind of playing on the whole transgender type of movement or idea. Like I haven't watched the whole documentary, but I have seen some of it where I was like, man, like this guy, he's just super calm. He's just like straight up asking questions and people are just going crazy. And I'm like, what is going on? Is this a real thing? Like let me get that guy's name. Let me Google. It's a Googling type of day. What is a Woman? 2022 film. I want to get the guy's name. This guy, Matt Walsh. That's the guy. What did you think of it, Forrest? Oh, he's a political commentator. Yo, this guy has 6 kids? Dang, bro. Political commentator, media host, columnist, and author. Oh, he has a podcast. Oh, geez, he's a right-wing political commentator. Oh, man. That's interesting. Let's see. What is a Woman? Time to Expose the Madness. A YouTube advertisement. Ay, ay, ay. Like, if you want to talk about controversy, this this is deep in the weeds right here. I also saw that documentary, People Are Going Socially Insane in America. What is going on? The doctor with the blue hair blew my mind. Yeah, this is insane. I'm in a storm right now. Yo, Bo, what's up, Bo? You came at just the right time. We're about to get controversial on this live stream. Oh man. Should I be scared to share my opinion? To be fearful of cancel culture, right? Like this is where cancel culture is applicable to stuff like this. Like if you want to talk about this What is a Woman documentary, oh boy. Like open the gates for backlash. Like this is it's stuff like this. Like, should I be worried about sharing my opinion on this documentary? Right? Like, should I? Like, should I have to be fearful of what I say, or should I be able to, speak my truth or speak my opinion about something, right? And it's just an opinion. It's not like it's going to hurt anybody, right? It's just like an opinion that I have, or maybe telling you what I think about the documentary, right? I wouldn't be promoting hate crime or hate speech or I don't know, any of that type of stuff. But like, just sharing an opinion nowadays, is that okay to do? Like, I don't know. Should I be worried? Imagine having the titles and power to do whatever you feel like is cool in this era. The doctor who gives puberty blockers to kids. Oh my gosh, puberty blockers? Is that a thing? Ay, ay, ay. Not my truth, the truth. Oh my goodness. You know what? This stream is not monetized though. So like even if this does get demonetized, I turn monetization off anyway. I never want my streams to be monetized. People get hurt by opinion these days. Oh yeah, see, that's a thing. Like I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but by making this YouTube channel and creating these podcasts and live streams with you guys and posting like YouTube shorts, I've had family members and really close friends get really upset with me for things that I've said. And when internet trolls or random people are mad at you, it doesn't really bother me. All the trolls, they can comment on my videos all they want. Like, I'm 37 years old. I'm old enough to like not let that stuff bother me. All right. Like what are we doing here? So that I can deal with. It's no problem. But like by putting myself out there and uploading these videos and doing these live streams, unfortunately, like some of my really close friends, acquaintances, co-workers, and even like family members, they've listened to things that I've said and they've got really mad from some of my opinions and takes that I have on certain subjects and topics. And that's what's tough, right? Is when people you love are getting upset at you for things you say. And it's like, it almost makes you want to quit, right? Because it can be so hurtful, and you sort of ask yourself, why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing this if it's just pushing people that I love away from me, right? But at the same time, when it comes to my own personal beliefs, I believe, speech is important, right? Discussion is important. Sharing ideas is important, right? Not only for me and you guys, but just for all of us, right? To be able to talk about ideas, I think is super, super important and beneficial, especially for younger people in the world, right? Like, let's talk about stuff. Right? And then we can learn from each other. Maybe you can learn from me, I can learn from you. We can talk about some experiences in our lives that we've gone through and overcome. And it's like a great thing to do. And I love it. Like I love just putting myself out there and having conversations like this. But unfortunately, like when I get backlash, from people I love, then it's tough, right? Because I have strong opinions about, university and college and working a 9 to 5 and doing things that you love, and even like watching TV. Like I have this stance where like I feel like you should quit Netflix. You should get rid of these subscriptions that you have. Maybe if you're someone that's binge watching Netflix 3, 4, 5 hours, 6 hours every night, and then you're maybe complaining about not being successful in your career or life, maybe that's a reason why. Maybe you should cut it off, right? So I have like these strong opinions about things that a lot of people do on a regular basis, and unfortunately gets them really upset. So, and this is another thing too, if we talk about this documentary, like, again, should I be afraid of cancel culture? Should I be aware of it? Should I think about it? Should I have that influence, like what I say? Should I be worried about my friends think? So it's, that's what I really hate is questioning myself and double thinking about things. Like I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like my life being influenced by other people's opinions of me. I really dislike that, right? If I say something, especially on this stream, it's just who I am, right? And you guys will know that it's not because I subscribe to some political ideology, or I subscribe to some type of progressive stance or conservative stance or whatever you want to call it, right? I just want to be able to like speak my truth and have discussions and talk about things. And unfortunately, like, and I'm learning this now more than ever, it's like being criticized and the blowback that I get, it's just part of the job or part of the gig, right? It's just part of it. So it's a little unfortunate, but like you said, people get hurt by opinions right nowadays, and everyone is super sensitive. I don't know. Oh, that's a rough word right there. Chemical castration. I don't know what name they use, and she said it's okay to use it. It's okay to use chemical castration. Oh my gosh. Like, in what world or in what situation would that ever be okay? To use chemical castration? Oh my. People are now profiting from kids' insecurities during puberty, a period which is naturally weird and confusing. They sell procedures to something which can be solved naturally with time, like Jesus. Yeah, it's rough. Like when you're even when you're 21, even when you're a legal adult in the US, you still don't even know what you're doing. Like, what's that part of your brain that doesn't develop until, or it doesn't fully develop until you're 27, I believe. So even in your early 20s, you have no idea what you're doing. Like, even myself, I was a dumbass. I don't know what I was doing in my early 20s. Now imagine like being a teenager and like going through puberty. It's even more confusing, right? And I feel like we're just making things we're creating an environment that's really tough for kids. Like, imagine how confused they must feel nowadays with all this stuff that they hear and that we force on them. Like, because that's something I worry about too, right? Because I have kids, right? Like, what am I going to do when they're growing up and they become teenagers? Like, who knows what the world is going to be like in 10 years, in 2035, right? When my kids are teenagers. Yikes. But I don't know. It's super strange. I feel like some of the transgender stuff and like this documentary in particular, I feel like it's so disrespectful to women at times. I feel like if you think about women objectively, women have given birth to all the human beings in history ever. Right? Like, that is a huge deal, right? And I hear these arguments that like, oh, men can give birth to kids too, and there should be a pregnant man emoji now in our chats. And I'm like, what? Really? Like, this is really a thing we're pushing for? Like, in the next Apple update or whatever, people want to have an emoji of a man that's pregnant because that's like a thing now. And I'm just like, oh man. This is like, I don't even know what to think anymore. I'm like I don't even know what's going on. But then I hear like the backlash from women's perspective, and I'm like, I get it, man. Like, I get it. Just keep your kids away from social media. That stuff is just toxic. Yeah. See, that's gonna be a discussion too that I'm gonna have to have with my kids. And I also imagine 10 years from now, imagine what else comes out that we don't know about. Like, right now we have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are probably like the 4 big social media platforms. Am I missing any? Oh, Twitter too. So we got like 5 big social media platforms right now that kind of control the narrative and control the discussion of the world. But what are we going to have 10 years from now? Like, is there going to be AR and VR social media platforms where you have virtual reality and augmented reality? Like, is that going to be another thing too, where like kids connect with like these haptic feedback suits and like those Oculus Rift helmets or glasses or whatever, and they enter a social media world comprised by augmented reality and virtual reality? Like, is that going to be the future that they have to deal with? And like, are we going to have to teach them like this is a virtual world and this is a real world and there's a difference? Like, that's going to be wild. Like, when I think about like how far technology has come now in 2022, like what is it going to be like in 2032? Like, that's my concern. Like, what is social media going to turn into in a decade from now? So it's very interesting. Yeah, the metaverse. That's what's his name? Facebook dude. Oh my gosh, can't believe I'm blanking on his name. Mark Zuckerberg, right? He has that whole metaverse. Didn't he change the name of his company to Meta? Like, isn't Facebook just called Meta now? Like, that's probably what social media is going to be like 10 years from now. This whole metaverse thing. And then we're probably going to have to try to teach our kids, the difference from the digital world you connect into and the real world that you live in real life, right? And there's probably going to be an addiction factor. Like, I'm sure there's going to be people that are going to be addicted to the metaverse because their life in the metaverse is probably so amazing. It's probably stimulating and it's full of achievement and fun and prosperity. Like, it's probably like an amazing, entertaining world to be in. But then when they go back into the real world, it's going to suck because the real world is punishing, right? It's like being a human being is difficult, right? Going through life is so hard. We have anxieties, we have insecurities, we have failure, we have death, right? We have so many obstacles in life. It's hard to be a happy, functioning human being. So, I don't know. It's something that I think about every once in a while. Are we going to get a C-3PO and R2-D2 in our lifetime? Oh, that's interesting. You know what I thought about something like that? So you talk about like AI and robotics, right? So I think right now there is a certain amount of technology that has advanced in artificial intelligence and robotics that you could probably get like a C-3PO R2-D2 type of life form or robot created, but it probably costs like $100 million or something insane, right? Like, so like the cost of robotics and AI is so high that it's like not scalable, to have it in real world life. Like, I remember I listened to a podcast once with that guy who got fired from Google. He was the artificial intelligence engineer, and he said that the AI that they have is sentient now. And then there's this whole, what do you call it? What's the right word I'm looking for here? Not conspiracy, like controversy with what he said and what Google said they had, and that people don't think that the AI is actually sentient. He was sort of talking about his whole experience working in Google, and eventually he got fired. And he was saying that like right now it's not possible to have like the Jetsons type robots, that live in your house and cook and clean, because the cost to run that AI and robotics is so high as compared to just paying a human being. Like, say if you want to like hire someone to clean your house, right? You could just like hire a person from a cleaning service and probably pay them, I don't know, $25 an hour or something, right? As compared to getting like a robot which does that, which has fully integrated AI that can, clean your kitchen. It probably costs like millions and millions of dollars. So in terms of like the cost, it's like not scalable. It's not reasonable, or it's not economically possible right now. But are we going to get a C-3PO and R2-D2 in our lifetime? So if you're talking lifetime, let's say maybe what's average life expectancy in North America? 82. So for me, that's what, 45 more years. So say if I live 45 more years, say I live 4 more decades, right? 40 more years. Will robotics and AI progress to a certain level in 40 years where we can get R2D2 and C3PO? I might be inclined to say yes, right? Because like the rate at which technology advances, like it's that hockey stick graph, right? Like technology, when you see like it's slow at the beginning, then it just sort of exponentially takes off. And I feel like maybe that's what technology will be. Westworld, yeah, Westworld. Oh man, Westworld. Yeah, Westworld, that's a great show. And that's the thing, right? When AI becomes self-aware, what is it going to do? Right? Is it going to like fight back? Is it going to want a life of its own? It's all that stuff is super interesting that I have no knowledge about. I think about it from time to time. Maybe in my lifetime, I'll see robots in a typical American household. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, Westworld, that's a great show. Is that show still going? I saw season 1 and 2. How many seasons are there? Oh, there's 4 seasons? Dang. As of August 14th, 2022, 36 episodes of Westworld have aired, concluding the 4th season. Whoa, the average viewership just like dropped like a rock. Season 1 was 1.8 million, season 2 was 1.6 million, season 3 was 0.8 million, and season 4 was 0.3 million. Like the popularity of this show just like fell off the face of the earth. Is there going to be a 5th season? Probably sounds like no. Oh, well, the reviews just kept going down and down per season. Westworld season 5. Will there be a season 5 of Westworld? We have one more season, which will start filming next April and May. Oh. Okay, so maybe there will be another season. Detroit Become Human? What is that? Is that a video game? Oh, I know this game. Yeah, I've seen this game before. It's super interesting. Man, there is so much entertainment in the world. Like even just looking at all the TV shows, movies, series, documentaries, video games, like I don't know how people say that they're bored. You ever hear people say that, like they're bored? They have nothing to do. Like there's so much to do. Oh my gosh, there's so many things out there to just be entertained that can suck up your time. Like I wish I could live 10 more lifetimes and then just be able to learn and watch things. Like there's so much out there. Like even learn a new language, travel to a different country, live in a different country, right? Play a musical instrument, or find whatever type of career, or try rock climbing or hiking or snowshoeing, like something. Like there's so many things you can do in the world. Like just, man, I never understand that, oh, I'm bored, I have nothing to do, saying that I hear from people sometimes. Because for me, I have like too many interests. There's too many things that I want to do, and there's not enough time. Like even with just like the YouTube channel, right? Like making videos, making shorts, doing the live stream, doing the podcast, and writing my newsletter. Like That's it. That's all my time right there. That's all the time I got for social media and creating content. It's all gone right there. But I love all those things, right? I love making videos, working on, titles and thumbnails, getting better at editing, right? Getting better at speaking and having these conversations. It's just, I don't know. I love it. It just gives me fulfillment, right? But if I had like more free time on the side to, like, I don't know, learn a new skill or a hobby or catch up on all these shows and movies, like, man, so much entertainment out there. Oh yeah, so earlier in the beginning of the stream, I was talking about how I struggled this whole month to find a guest for my podcast. And so what's going to happen is next week, I'm just going to do a podcast by myself. And what I'm going to do is I've been going through all these live streams and taking out the best questions that you guys have given me. And then I'm just going to do a podcast episode with myself, reading out a bunch of the questions and then just answering them as best I can. And I'm going to try to make like an hour and a half episode of that. So that's going to be a podcast that comes out next week. So if you guys have any specific questions you think would be good for me to answer, or maybe just a question you want me to answer in a longer form way over a podcast, just let me know in the chat and I'll write it down and add it to my list. Because it's like super time consuming, like going through my podcasts. Like there was one question I remember Forrest asked where she was like, something about an onion. Remember you asked something, I think it was the last live stream, something like if you were an onion and you had to something peel back the layers. It was like some very obscure question like that. I was like, wow, that's an amazing question. I really love that. And during the live stream, it kind of caught me off guard. And so I feel like I didn't really do the question justice in answering it, but I loved the question. What type of question? I don't know, just anything in general, anything that you find like interesting. So on my list, so I have like, what countries have you been to? What kind of book are you writing? Do you feel like you have imposter syndrome? Do you have any nicknames that people still call you? If you could be an onion, how many layers would you want to have, and what would they be? See, that was your question, so I wrote that down. That was a really interesting one. What business ventures have you got into recently? How did you find your passion? Like stuff like that. I'm very curious about your life as a professional poker player. Like just any general questions like that. I'm just going to kind of build up a list. And then whenever I can't get a guest for my podcast, I'm just going to turn on the camera and then just read off these questions that you guys give me and then kind of give a well thought out, like maybe not thought out, but insightful answer. Like an answer where I kind of have time to think about it and break it down instead of like, like during a stream where you guys ask a question, it's like, I'm sort of unprepared, like in the moment, right? I gotta like think off the top of my head. Whereas like a podcast, I can kind of, maybe pick 10 questions and think about them deeply and give a more well thought out, opinionated answer. And I feel like that'd be fun. Because I love just thinking about things. And I love taking an idea or a topic and, just sitting down and thinking about it deeply. And then coming to my own opinions and conclusions about why I think a certain way. I don't know, it's just fun for me because it's sort of like it helps me learn, right? It helps me think deeply more about myself and like, what do I believe in? Like, what are my beliefs? What are my thoughts? And it sort of helps me become a better human being. So because I think self-reflection is important, right? And so often I'm just like caught up in the busyness of life that I never take the time to just sit down, just relax, think my thoughts and kind of, go over some ideas, and work on like who I am as a person, work on my beliefs, and it gives me perspective and it just turns me into a more complete human being. Will you make a community post on YouTube for those questions? Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. I'll make a community post and just maybe ask some people to give some questions. I don't know. It's just something I'm going to try. Because like the podcast, it's tough when you don't have people coming to you wanting to be on it, and you have to sort of reach out to people to be on it. And it's hard because a lot of people's schedules, especially now, like a lot of people that I've been talking to this month, it's like, they have school, or, they're back to school and they're busy. So, it's difficult to get some guests. And also, like, I've been looking for like podcast guests that are like experts on certain fields. And I sort of want to mix it up. Like I want to have like some conversations with content creators, maybe some conversations with friends, or maybe talk about someone who's really knowledgeable with movies or sports or like a certain subject. Like I feel like it'd be super interesting. Not just for you guys as listeners, but also for myself. And I don't know. We'll see. The podcast is interesting because we're up to 38 episodes. So it's slowly getting there. And it's one that like I want to keep the momentum going. Like I want to just keep going and going and going. Because I feel like with the podcast, if I get to a point where I get stagnant and I stop, I don't make an episode for a few weeks or a month, then it's going to be really hard to keep up the routine of having it continually going, right? And I don't want that to happen. I really value consistency and work ethic and discipline and just like always showing up. It's something that I really value. And like the podcast, I don't want it to go away. Like I want it to just keep going and to perpetually release episodes, every year. Here is another question for that stockpile. For thousands of years, we were at war and experienced many battles. What is our greatest battle now? Oh. Okay, I'll add that, Swen. I'll add that to the list. Okay, so questions from our boy Swen. Oh, okay. Why did I make it? It's like it's weird formatting. Okay, well, whenever okay, there. Ask Chris Stuckman? Who's that? Chris Stuckman. Is this Google worthy? Oh my gosh, this dude has 2 million subscribers. On, whoops. I'm gonna mute that. Oh, this guy does like movie reviews. Yeah, you know what's funny? I've reached out to some people that have like millions of subscribers on YouTube. They'd be like, hey, you want to like be on my podcast? I just kind of throw it out there because I have no shame, right? I'm not scared of asking anyone anything. And I'm not scared of rejection either. Like that's something that I feel like a lot of people get held back by, where they're scared of being rejection, they're scared of failure, and instead of like just reaching out and trying, they don't do the actual thing they want to do, and that fear holds them back. And I'm someone that I'll never let that hold me back. But what's interesting is that whenever I send out an email to someone with like 1 million or 2 million subscribers, like asking them, yeah, you want to be on the podcast or you want to collaborate on something, they never respond because they probably look at my channel and see like I have 2,000 subscribers and they're like, oh, 2,000 subscribers? Like, why should I do this guy's podcast? And there's always like this mentality that content creators have where they only want to do something if it benefits them. Right. And this is something that I make sure that I don't do because it's something I don't believe in. Like, I remember someone told me once that I should only look for people that have like 4,000 subscribers or more, like double my subscriber count, so I benefit off their following. And I shouldn't talk to anyone that's lower than me. And I'm like, why? Like, why? Like, who cares about that? Like, it doesn't matter if someone has 2 million or 20 subscribers. Like, if they're an interesting person and I want to talk to them, or maybe we can have a good conversation about something, then I should have them on, right? So I don't care how many subscribers or how big a following you have. I think that's so dumb. That's such a dumb way to do podcasts. And like, far too often I've reached out to people and they either ghost me or they don't respond just because of like how less of a following I have in comparison to them. And that's something that's like, I've never believed in or never liked. He reviews movies, and I trust his taste of movies the most. Oh, okay, so this guy has good taste. Let's see. Hey, he has the Lord of the Rings review. Well, it has a 420,000 views. Oh my gosh, he reviewed Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT. House of the Dragon. Oh, so this guy is like... So this guy really loves it. See, someone like this is cool because you can tell he has like a passion for films. Oh my gosh, his channel is 11 years old. So this guy's been doing this for 11 years. Oh man. What a guy. Good for him. Or Lady Geneva. This is one of those days for us where I'm just Googling everything that you type. Okay, so this 14,000 subscribers. Okay, so maybe this might be more attainable. Is Comic-Con still worth it? Okay, so she has like The Boys season 3 review episode. Oh, she reviews like shows and episodes too. See, this is the stuff that I love. Like, I love when you see someone that has passion for a certain thing. Like, those are like conversations I'd love to have. Right now, he's making his own movie finally. Oh my gosh, really? Jeez. That's serious. Yeah, I had like, when I was really big into filmmaking, I had making a documentary for Netflix, like on my vision board. Or on my bucket list, I guess you would say. Like, that was something that I really wanted to do. I really wanted to make like a short film, like get a like proper like video equipment that could record a film, because Netflix has like a quality requirement. Like, even though I have like all these lenses and cameras, the level of camera that I have, it doesn't meet the film quality that's required for a network like Netflix. Like, so you have to like have like a certain quality of camera for them to accept your film. And so for like the longest time, I was like deep in the film world. I was deep into like videography gear and, you know, like trying to save up for something like amazing and just create a short film, you know, because I loved it, right? But the problem is you get to a point where like it's not feasible and it's like not realistic. Like, the sheer amount of time, money, energy, and effort that would be required for me to invest in something like creating a short film is like, and especially like my skill level too. Like, my skill level as like a filmmaker, it's nowhere close to be like Netflix worthy. It's not even close. Like, if I can't even like I consider myself who's a struggling creator on YouTube. Like even though I love doing this, I love the live stream, I love the videos, I love talking to you guys, I love all this stuff. But if you, as a creator, you'd probably think like my channel is like one that is struggling and one that's not very successful, right? And having like a dream of making a Netflix documentary probably seems out of reach, right? If you want to be realistic. And I get that, right? It's also like I haven't put the amount of time, energy, and effort in improving my filmmaking techniques as I would like to, right? Because recently I've sort of fallen in love with just learning and reading and being able to speak better and convey my ideas and have these discussions and make videos. I feel like I enjoy that more, like the knowledge and the perspective and the ideas. I enjoy that more than the actual filmmaking process. Because now when I release videos on YouTube, the thing that excites me the most is like the content, the topic, the idea, the title and the thumbnail. Like that's what I love. Whereas before, I loved like the cinematic shots. I love the editing. I love the transitions, the sound design, like all the flashy stuff is what I loved when I started YouTube. Whereas now I love the more introspective, educational, more thought out type of content. So, and because of that, my ability as a filmmaker has sort of fallen off these past couple of years. Like before, I used to study like filmmaking techniques like all the time. I'd watch like YouTube videos. I would read like books and courses and classes about this stuff. Like I was really, really into it. And it's sort of like fallen off over time, which is fine. You know, like your interests and your passions, they change over time, right? So, and I think that's okay. Life as an Onion, Netflix 2024. Oh, that's funny. Life as an Onion. Because you know what? Like in an ideal world, in a perfect situation, if I could just do podcasts, the live stream, release YouTube videos, and then like, I don't know, maybe write a book or something. Like I am writing one, but the amount of time that I have to do it is so limited. Like if I could just do creative work, just do this stuff every day, like I'd be so happy. Like it's so much fun, right? I don't know why I love it so much. Like I'm just sitting here, like I'm just sitting here in my office, you know, talking to how many people is in the stream? 4 people in the live stream, right? And I'm having so much fun. Like I love it. It's so enjoyable for me. Just the creative process. It's more than the numbers. Like I love it so much. Like I look forward to these bi-weekly live streams just to talk with you guys. And I know like deep down I have that fear like, oh no, what if no one shows up, right? Like that's probably like my nightmare or my biggest fear is, you know, like doing a live stream or something and having no one show up, right? Because, you know, like it kind of makes you feel bad, right? And you question yourself, you question your abilities, and you question what you're using your time on. But then when I, you know, turn on the camera and I go live and we have these conversations and we talk about whatever is going on, you know, it like makes me legitimately happy. Like, and I love doing this type of stuff. And if I could just maybe find a way, you know, for it to work out, you know, that's what I would love to do. Like I would love to do this over making a Netflix documentary any day. I would take this over, you know, the celebration or the achievement of like, oh, I made a Netflix film. Like this is what I love. This is what I want to do. So, and it's okay. Maybe I'll get there in time. Who knows? Oh, how do I say your name? Piku? That's an interesting name. Sorry, I'm butchering your name really bad. Piku Lazul? What's going on, dude? You should really find a way to grow with more mainstream stuff, perhaps that gets fast attention before doing streams of videos about actual good topics. Always a shame to see you with few views, since your stuff is genuinely great with good quality and good opinions. Hey, thanks, dude. Yeah, this is we've talked about this before on the stream. I've actually got this a lot. And it's a gut punch in some sense. I guess does it hurt my feelings? I don't think it hurts my feelings per se. But I've had so many people ask me, like, how come your channel doesn't grow? How come you have such few views? How come you have such few subscribers? Like, I get this a lot from people, and I hear it in the comment section. And sometimes it makes me feel kind of bad, right? Like, it's like a confusing, like, how do you answer that question, right? Like, how do I answer that? Because I'm doing things that I love to do. And like, YouTube for me has never been about the numbers, right? It's always been about, like, I just love doing this. It makes me happy. But of course, like, I'd be lying if I didn't say, like, I'm trying to grow. Like, I would love for this to grow, maybe to make a career out of it, because that's a goal in life, right? Is to do what you love for your career. Like, that's the best thing in the world. And so, people have given me suggestions like, you should do more controversial videos. You should do more videos about topics in the mainstream that could grow your channel more. That you should do more clickbait titles, more clickbait thumbnails. Like, I've thought about that. Like, trust me, like, what you said is genuinely really good advice. Like, it is. Trust me. It's like, like you said, finding ways to grow with more mainstream stuff. Like, perfect. That's like a great strategy to grow your channel. But it's like, I'm trying to find that balance, right? Like, I want, at the end of the day, like, if the channel is going to succeed and grow, like, I want it to be about things that I really love, right? I want it to be really authentic. I want it to be about content and ideas that I love. And I don't want to be like a fraud, right? I don't want to make like videos talking shit about Jake Paul or Logan Paul or Andrew Tate or Hamza or Sneeko or any of these like controversial people that are super popular in the mainstream. And I have made videos about them, every once in a while. Would my channel be more successful if I did it more often? Sure, it probably would be, right? Because like, especially when you get into like negative stuff, right? Like, negativity and drama really brings eyeballs and clicks, right? Like, it really boosts up your viewership. And whenever I've ever been critical of someone, it's always garnered tons of views. Like, I made a video about Nathaniel Drew once, another content creator, tons of views. Made a video about Hamza, tons of views. Like, but again, like, I don't want to always talk about that. So I'm sort of playing this game where I'm walking this fine line of, do I make more content that I know will perform well algorithmically, or do I make more content that I love and that's genuine to me? And it's tough because I'm stuck in the middle somewhere and I don't know the answer, right? And I'm trying to figure it out. And this is one thing where I don't have the answer for this, right? I don't have the answer for the YouTube game, It kills me on the inside because every day I wake up, I look at my phone, I look at my subscribers, right? I look at how many views I got. I read all the comments. I reply to all the comments whenever I can, and it kills me on the inside because, like, I do want to do better. I do want to like grow, right? But also at the same time, I'm trying to stay true to who I am. And it's such a conundrum for me. This is like such a difficult decision that I have to go through like every single day. Like, should I sell out, right? Should I sell out in the hopes of more growth? Like, should I do that? Or should I stay the course? Should I stay the course and just be content with happiness and let the channel grow when it will grow, right? Like, that's an option too. And I still haven't figured it out yet. It's something that, it's probably one of my biggest struggles. If I'm going to be honest and transparent and vulnerable here, like I really struggle with this every day, because it's something that I love to do, right? And if I really love doing it, I should try to find a way to be more successful, right? And I'm just entrapped by this constant pressure of doing what I love, doing what works, right? Trying to be like, what is success? Like, how do you measure success? Is success making a full-time living off Google AdSense? Brand deals? Like, is that what success is? Or is success making no money but having fun, being happy? Like, this measuring tool of success, it's so hard. It's like a moving target, right? And I'm trying to hit the bullseye. And I can't, I don't know. Like, it's tough for me. It's really tough. But I'm trying to figure it out, right? Trying to figure it out. Sorry, I went on that long emotional rant. Gotta catch up on the chat. Since your stuff is genuinely great with good quality and good opinions, or why not try to be the guest in someone else, let's say House of the Dragon reaction live stream, just for fun? I follow some channels and talk Game of Thrones since forever. Yeah, I've actually reached out a couple of content creators who stream, and I've been like, hey, I'd love to join your live stream, or hey, I'd love to do a podcast. But I get shot down more often than not. I found you through Hamza's video. Hey, Swan, there you go. See, Hamza's a great creator. Sorry, I gotta keep coughing. Sorry, that's annoying. Yeah, I feel like Hamza's a great self-improvement creator. And I sort of share some of his ideas. So that's why I did make a video talking about Hamza. And again, it did really well. But I didn't want to always just talk about Hamza. I feel like he's a great person, a great creator. So I made my piece and I sort of moved on, right? And it was cool that some of our viewership cross-pollinated. And again, I got to find you, Swen, and it just goes from there, right? Building those relationships. Fully understandable. It doesn't have to be about drama either, but I still do believe at the start, logically speaking, you really need to act cocky like a shark because that's the reality of YouTube. You are not selling yourself out on who you are or what your channel is. It's more about strategy. You create a way for your channel to be able to, so your videos reach more people with well done and important videos. You will do others and yourself a favor, in my belief. Think about all the other big YouTubers at a certain size that get to do what they want and eventually and be the way they want in all the time prior and build their channel to give them such chance. Yeah, like everything you say there makes sense, right? I get that, that very arrogant, brash, extroverted type of personality, in the first, maybe 30 seconds of a video is super important, the hook. Everyone talks about the hook. Be big, be bold with your idea in the beginning of your video. Draw the viewer in, suck them in, right? Yeah, it's just it's a lot, it's a lot to think about. I'm so glad there's still a few people like you in this world. Hey, thanks, Forrest. Thanks. That means a lot. That means a lot. It's yeah, I don't know. Obviously some days are better than others, for sure. I do have a general idea of what performs well, because I can go through my analytics and I can see what videos do well, right? Every time I've talked about my eating habits, eating kiwis all the time and wearing boring gray shirts, I've got so many more views, so many more subscribers, because I think it sort of falls into that pool of people that are in that minimalist type of niche, right? Sort of I guess you would call it the Matt Diavella type people, that are really into minimalism, right? But the problem is I'm not a minimalist. I like the idea of minimalism, and I kind of jumped into that world, saw what it was about, picked a few ideas, took them and ran with it, right? So like buying less stuff, owning less things, like wearing a life uniform, wearing like a simple wardrobe, but like that's it. Like I don't consider myself a minimalist. Like if you were to go through my house, I have stuff everywhere. My garage and my tool shed is just full of stuff, right? That I should get rid of, I should probably sell, and like downsize my life like a true minimalist should. But again, like I'm not a real minimalist. So I don't think my channel should just be about minimalism. So I talk about some things which is done really well. And again, if I want the channel to perform well, maybe I should make more videos about those topics, right? So again, it's like this give and take, right? Give and take. I'm trying to figure it out. Like even like this, like you said, it's more about strategy. Create a way for your channel to be able to, for your videos to reach more people. Like, that's important too. Like even this whole gambling tangent that I've been going off of. Like I didn't really talk about it too much when I first started my channel, like having a past problem with gambling addiction. It wasn't something that I talked about regularly. I didn't really share that side of me because, most people will sort of judge you, right, and be very critical of your choices, especially when it comes to money. If you're someone that gambles and wastes your life savings in a casino, right? Like that's such a stupid way to live your life, right? But as I've slowly been sharing my past story with gambling and poker and my history and what my 20s was like, I've kind of, again, reached this pool of people in the gambling addiction world that are sort of really resonating with some of my opinions and some of my videos and some of my stories where, it makes me feel good too, because now I'm helping like a group of people too through something that I struggled with for like 9 years of my life and eventually came out on the other side without completely destroying my life, right? I can gamble responsibly now. I can, place a $5 bet on a game and that's it. Whereas before I'd place a $5 bet, then 20, and then 50, and 100, then 1,000, then it just like escalates out of control. And so, yeah, that's nice too, right? So, I don't know, there's a lot going on. Today I got 2 new black shirts and no one will notice. Thought of your video. See, like that, like I love that. That's so cool. I actually bought 2. I bought a black shirt and a gray shirt a couple weeks ago. I went shopping. I actually need to buy pants. I've been hoping that the summer clothes would go on sale when the fall clothing comes in. That's normally when I buy my shorts. I'm like running out of the same shorts. Or I need to buy new clothes. Create for the audience of one yourself. Fine idea I got from a YouTuber called Andrew Kirby. Yeah, I know Andrew Kirby. He's I believe he's British. He's British, right? Like a British self-improvement YouTuber. Talks about like personal finance a lot. Mindset, self-improvement, building a business. Yeah. I don't watch his videos that often anymore. I used to watch him a lot maybe 2 years ago, I think. And for whatever reason, my interest sort of fell off. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's hopefully the channel will grow a bit more in the future. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If to be perfectly honest, like I am actively trying, right? Not really to grow the channel, but I'm really actively trying to make better videos, right? I've been spending more time on like titles and thumbnails recently. I don't know if you guys watched the mushroom video that I posted, my experience with a heroic dose of psychedelic mushrooms. Like that video, I think I spent 2 days making the thumbnail, and I spent like a day and a half just rewriting the title over and over and over, try to figure out like what's a title that makes sense with a thumbnail that will deliver on the promise in the video, right? And so like that was a video I spent a lot of time and effort on, the psychedelic mushroom one, where I really thought about the title like deeply. I spent a shitload of time in Adobe Photoshop trying to like blend the two pictures of my face right, for the thumbnail. So I think if I just concentrate on making better content, right, making better videos with good titles, good thumbnails, and to just continually work on myself, like continually read more books, right, pursue self-education, keep improving myself, be more disciplined, build better habits, and just kind of share my experiences, through video with better videos, and hopefully the channel will grow in the future, right? So I like that idea. Very different kind of video that was really like the concept. Yeah, that was that was something that I loved. Like I've never talked about psychedelics before on my channel, so again the video seems sort of out of place, but I had like such a positive experience with psychedelic mushrooms that I'm like, and I had this whole Google document trip report that I had on my phone for like a year. Like it sat there for a year. And I was like, I gotta make a video about this one day. And like I never really figure out how to do it, right? I was like, how do I make a video about mushrooms when my channel is about self-improvement, where I talk about working out, waking up early, taking cold showers, writing down in a journal, being disciplined, work ethic. Like I talk about all these like positive, tangible habits that I've added to my life to make me a better person. But then there's also this thing where I've taken drugs, right? And it's like, oh, okay, well, how does psychedelic mushrooms tie into this stuff, right? And it's sort of like, I couldn't find a segue into that world, into my channel that made sense, right? But then I figured the story and my experience was so good that it would be a shame for me not to share it, because it was something that I really, again, it was really a amazing positive experience that I had in my life. And so I was like, let's just do it. And then eventually I just did it. But those self-promoting bots were really out of hand though. Yeah, dude, bro, you see that? That was crazy. Like, I think Swen, you posted a comment, right? And then I replied to you. And then all these bots were like spamming your comment in my replies with like, oh, go to this Instagram account to buy whatever mushrooms, right? So will mushrooms be a topic in your book somehow? Yes, 100%, Forrest. I have an entire chapter in the book about mushrooms. I think I have a general idea of where it's going to be, but as of right now, the title of my book has the word mushroom in the title. So I've been doing a lot of brainstorming. I haven't really wrote any like full sentences or chapters, or not like full paragraphs, but I have all like the specific chapters planned out. Let me pull it up. Where is it? I have a Google Doc I started. Here. I don't want to tell you the title yet. Okay, so chapter 1 is titled Skipping Breakfast. Chapter 2 is Pick Up Heavy Shit. Chapter 3 is Cold Water Only. Chapter 4 is Pen and Paper. And then in each of those, I have all my main bullet points that I want to go over and discuss in the chapter. So obviously for chapter 1, it's titled Skipping Breakfast, right? So we're talking about longevity, intermittent fasting, the benefits of fasting, the health benefits, learning how to control your appetite, how to deal with the hormone called ghrelin, which regulates like your feelings of hunger. And these are all going to be based on my experience. Like all these chapters are going to be things that I do on a daily basis. These are 100% authentic, 100% things that I do every single day, right? And then eventually, so I have those first 4 chapters planned out. And the last 4, the topics are going to be meditation, books, family, and then psychedelic mushrooms. So right now I have 8 chapters planned out. And yeah, the mushroom part, it's going to be mainly about like the amazing benefits that I've received from psychedelic mushrooms. And I'm not just talking about heroic dosages. Like, I've received so much benefits from microdosing. Like, it's crazy. Like, taking 200 to 500 milligram dosages in the morning while fasted has improved my writing like exponentially. I don't know how to describe it. Like, in the morning when I write, right? Like when I make scripts for YouTube videos, or I brainstorm ideas, or I write like chapters or paragraphs for my newsletter. When I'm sober and I drink water and I drink black coffee, I have these ideas that sort of follow the same pattern. And the way I think about it is, I heard this once where psychedelic mushrooms are kind of like a ski hill. It's like a hill or a mountain that's covered in snow, right? And when you go down the ski hill, your skis make these grooves in the hill, like there are these grooves in the snow, right? And then whenever you're thinking creatively or writing ideas, your thoughts go down those same grooves over and over and over and over. And sometimes they diverge a little bit. But when you microdose psychedelic mushrooms, what it does is it causes the weather to snow, and it fills in all those grooves. So now your brain thinks in all these different ways, and all these pathways opened up that you wouldn't have thought of before. And I come up with all these like bizarre, crazy ideas when I microdose mushrooms, that I don't know how else to explain it. Like, the way I think about things, it opens up my mind to like new possibilities, and I've done my best writing ever. Like, all my best ideas have come from microdosing. And it's like, I don't know, like, it's so hard for me. Like, I'm struggling right now to put this into words. But like, when you use mushrooms responsibly, and you get used to the dosages, and you know what to expect. Like, I've experimented from 100 milligrams all the way to 5 grams. Like, I've tried like half a gram, 1 gram, 1.5, 2. Like, I've tried almost everything. I haven't gone above 5 because it gets like a bit too crazy. I'm not ready for those extreme periods of paranoia and ego death. Like, that's what the heroic doses do, right? The 5 gram heroic dose was very powerful. Maybe in the future I'll experiment more, but like the benefits is unbelievable. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, everything that I've done with psychedelic mushrooms has helped me out so much. Made me a better person, made me a more kinder person, more compassionate person, made me a better father, made me appreciate people more, made me more creative. Right? It's opened my mind to so many possibilities. Like, and I know what it sounds like. It sounds like hippie bullshit, right? Oh, you're just like some hippie drug user. Like, but it's not. Like, that's not what it is. Like, it's, like, it gives me goosebumps. Like, just talking about it. It's such like an amazing thing. I had to have it in the book, so it's in there. Imagine the cover of your book made by mushroom leather. Oh, that's super interesting. You know what's tough though? Can you still get books published? Like, obviously I'm gonna make like a PDF or an ebook version, right? And I'm gonna record an audiobook version of myself doing it. But like, can I get it printed somehow? Like, I want to, maybe not like to really sell. I don't know, maybe I'll sell it. I don't know. But I would love to just have like maybe a couple physical versions of it, like have an actual physical book and like maybe give some to my friends and family, maybe some to you guys, like who are really interested in it. Like I would love to just have like a physical copy of it, because and I'd put it in my bookshelf back there, which is behind me. And I don't know, I think that'd be like an amazing thing. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the book. Again, I'm always so optimistic for the future, you know, like even though I don't have any reason to believe that I'm going to be any more successful, right? Like look at the YouTube channel. It's been 3 years, right? So maybe it'll take me another 3 years. Maybe it'll take 2. Maybe it'll take 1. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Like there's so much unknown when it comes to creating content and doing all this stuff that I don't know. I'm just excited for what the future has in store for all this stuff. I had a conversation with my friend about those. We honestly want to try it once, but my friend has a very addictive personality, so if he tries it, he will probably abuse it. Yeah, that's rough. See, I don't know how to deal with that, especially like substances. Like I'm lucky where I can get like blackout drunk. Like I can party, I can drink hard, go crazy, and then not crave any alcohol for like 2 months. Like I can be the most casual drinker like ever when it comes to alcohol, even like things like marijuana, mushrooms, just like substances in general, even like opioids, right? Whenever I've taken like painkillers or medication, I have never had physical addiction to any of those things. So I'm someone that has complete confidence in my ability to use substances infrequently, every once in a while, right? And for me, it's no problem. But for other people, that physical addiction is so strong, it's very difficult for them to use it responsibly, right? Whereas for me, my addictions are all in here. Like all of my addictions are mental, right? Whether it's stuff that I love to do, things like gambling, like the dopamine, serotonin, like those type of chemical addictions are ones that I struggle with. Whereas the physical ones, like even like smoking, cigarettes, never tried it, never done it, no interest in doing it, like none of that. But if your friend has like an addictive personality where he might be worried about getting addicted to mushrooms, then I don't know, that's tough, because you have to tread lightly, right? You have to be very careful, right? Because drugs can ruin people's lives if abused, right? It's like that old saying, the dose makes the poison, right? Like if you have mushrooms every, I don't know, once a year, twice a year, probably won't do anything for you. But if you have them twice a day, now we have a problem, right? If you're drinking, again, every single day, twice a day, then we have a problem. If you're having a drink once every 2 months, not an issue, right? So so this type of stuff, very personal dependent. I feel like very dependent on the person, and you should really take care when it comes to recommending this type of stuff to other people, because again, we're all different human beings. We react in complete different ways. Like even like me, for example, you give me pistachios, cashews, I'm a dead man. Like if I eat like those type of nuts and you don't have like an ambulance coming for me or an EpiPen, like I'm gonna die. Right? Like human beings are so weird. We're so weird in that things affect us in like drastically different ways, right? So yeah, I'd recommend it. Definitely recommend it, Swen. I've had such amazing positive benefits, but again, for your friend, I don't know if I'd recommend it to him, but definitely try to make the best educated and safe and responsible decision that you can. and whatever that may be. Me and my quotes. Oh, man. Oh, shoot, it's lunchtime. It's past 2:00. I gotta go have lunch, guys. Gonna take Tiffany and Lincoln to go see their cousins after lunch today. So I got a fun day with the family. And really enjoyed the stream. Really enjoyed the stream talking to you guys. See, I love this stuff, right? I love this stuff. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have another stream probably next week. So I'm thinking next Saturday, October 1st, because on the 8th, I'm going away for a couple of days to visit my parents for my dad's birthday and for Canadian Thanksgiving. So we're going to do another live stream. Whoops. Probably next Saturday, so we can talk again. So yeah, Swen, Forrest, Piku, I don't know if I said your name right. Bo, if you're still here, and everyone else who came to the stream, like the video. I don't know if it helps. If you want to, find out more about what I'm doing, I have the podcast. Like I said, I'll have a video with myself coming up soon. If you guys have any questions you want me to talk about on the podcast, leave me a comment in my community tab. I'm going to send out a message in the community tab asking you guys for some questions to prepare for the podcast I'm going to do by myself. And if you want to follow with my abstract writing that I do once a month, you can subscribe to my newsletter on my website. I usually just talk about a bunch of random things, and I have like ideas that aren't really fit for videos, so I just kind of put it in my writing, and it's something that I love to do. So yeah, so you guys have a good weekend. Love all you guys. Love talking, and thank you so much for showing up and making this super enjoyable for me. And I'll see you guys next Saturday, and we'll talk about House of Dragons again. All right, guys. Peace. See ya. Bye.